The Educators Union of South Africa has warned that it will physically shut down schools if the Education Department doesn't close them. This is in response to Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga's announcement that schools will remain open despite a third wave of COVID-19 infections. For more on this, I'm joined by Educators Union of South Africa spokesperson Kabelo Mahlobuage. Kabelo, good evening.
Good evening, Thabo, and good evening to your listeners as well.
Well,
your viewers.
It's an anarchy, that's what SACTU is saying. It is a violation of the parents' rights. You can't determine, or you can't parent a parent. Only a parent can determine if they will take their child to school or not. But not only that, engage the minister on these issues. Why choose this route?
SACTU is a union that gained members during apartheid. So if they can do an audit of their members and ask members to apply again now, you'll realize that they only have 1% of teachers that they are representing in this view. But we are not concerned about SACTU or anyone else. We are taking a mandate from our members. The Minister of Basic Education has taken a decision long time ago that she's going to stop consulting us, because every time she tried to do so, we were representing the views of teachers and refused to compromise. So we are that child now in the family of unions that is put aside simply because we are not willing to compromise on anything. This is a stance that we have always been preaching to the minister for as long as last year. And she has been refusing to listen to us, and she's been ignoring us together with her sweetheart unions that she claims to consult right now.
Talk to me then about what you plan to do with the question of deficiencies that are already in the system caused by the first and the second wave.
You know, Thabo, those deficiencies that you are mentioning, and rightfully so, are not things that are new. They have been existing in education for as long as we can remember. Actually, the minister is in her third term now, and she has failed to deal with those deficiencies even in the first term. That is why we are seeing them now. They are not new things. So what we are saying is that it cannot be right that the country is on level 3, but basic education is on level 0 or outside of the lockdown. The regulations internationally say that there must be social distancing. The minister says all learners must come back to school. Remember that, number one, we don't even have schools in South Africa. We have places where over 80 learners are gathered in one class that was built by the apartheid government to accommodate 30 learners who were doing Bantu education. So what she's doing now is impractical, because in education, just on Friday, we received the reports from our structures that over 50 schools in Gauteng had closed because of the COVID-19 cases. We have over 6,000 teachers that have tested positive. So how can you say that despite all of that, things must continue in these schools? The minister, together with these other organizations that she favors so much, discussed these things, the decision to keep schools open on virtual platforms. Yet they say that it's fine for learners to go back to school and teachers to contract the virus. We support the issue of the vaccinations of teachers. We are not having a problem with that. But we cannot be blindly supporting it. We are saying that we know by fact, the MEC of Health in Gauteng has shown us that you can vaccinate and still test positive. We know for a fact that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is still under trial and study. So it is not yet a known fact that it can actually cure COVID-19. So we cannot be taking chances with the lives of innocent teachers and innocent learners, whereas the same people that are taking these decisions are meeting at the comfort of their bedrooms through virtual platforms and saying to us, we must go and face a deadly virus such as COVID-19, which continues to take our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters every day. It is so reckless.
But Kabelo, it's never been said, though, that vaccines will cure COVID-19. It says it gives you a degree of protection, particularly against severe illness. Yes, you'll probably get ill, but you will not get ill to a point where you're actually hospitalized and you lose your life.
Well, I read somewhere in one media house where they said that it gives you 100% protection. I was shocked to read that. But what we're saying here is that over and above this trouble, you remember last year we said to the department, we need to find new ways to live in this new normal of the 4IR. We said to the minister, when they had closed schools last year, they must stop trying to trim and cut the curriculum. They must find new means of doing education which are going to help us to move forward. They didn't listen. Today we are on the third wave. The third wave and the minister still says, go back to school. Why is she refusing to go with the times and transform with the world? That is why we are saying we need a young and energetic minister that is going to be able to deal with us. I feel it's somehow very bad when I'm speaking to Gogo Angelina Motshekga because she's older than my grandmother. Sometimes it feels like I'm disrespecting when I'm saying facts.
Yeah.
We need young people that are going to understand technology and understand that education is primary to the development of the economy of South Africa. So even today, as we speak about the debate, we're still saying to the minister, let's find new ways of accommodating the South African education system and making sure that learners are safe and teachers.
Why is it some provinces have managed to move forward as far as the new competencies that you're talking about, in fact, as far as blended learning is concerned and moving into the digital age, even taking some rural areas with them, and some other schools have not been able to do it?
Well, firstly on that, there is no province, in my knowledge, and from the report that you are getting from the ground, that has successfully done so. Only former model C schools, which are well-resourced, learners are paying school fees, the children of these ministers are going there, so they are getting sponsorship and a lot of funding, have managed to survive. The Western Cape are going to give it credit as well because it has done great in terms of managing this virus. But anywhere else, I can tell you on the ground, it's trouble. The Department of Basic Education last delivered PPE in schools last year in June. Since ever, schools have been trying to procure these PPEs from their own funds. Teachers have been buying these materials from their own pockets. And you know, teachers are poor, my brother. It is a well-known phenomenon. Actually, we are not even receiving salary increases now. But Thabo, the primary question here is, why should we go to schools to risk our lives when we are faced with such a virus that no one in the world knows about? Why are they not opening the market of vaccines so that even countries like China and Russia, which have managed to deal with the virus, can also be able to bring the vaccines? I mean, Russia has long said that they are willing to give away the science of the production of their vaccine so that it can be produced locally. But it seems like our government is still obsessed with other things. I can tell you now, even over and above this that we're discussing, the Department of Basic Education will not vaccinate all teachers in the next 2 weeks. And another thing, they will not start tomorrow with the vaccination of teachers. They're just giving these speeches because they know media doesn't ask for facts. The minister can come here and lie about a lot of things, and when she comes again next time, you won't even ask for evidence. Yeah. This is just a lip service.
Why do you believe that the inoculation campaign will not kick off on Wednesday? It kicks off on Wednesday, according to the briefing that we get from the Department of Basic Education.
Well, the Department of Basic Education has a long history of giving empty promises. Even on this one on Wednesday would not be the first one.
Well, remember, not only the department, I spoke to the Premier, for example, of KwaZulu-Natal today. He says on Wednesday they are vaccinating teachers in that province.
They are all comrades. They are working together. You know this thing of comrades, Thabo, we should not act like we don't know it. They come, they meet, they discuss, let's do this to give our people hope, but this is false hope. Why do we still have schools, even after so much money has been released for Jojo Tanks, over 700 million rands? Why do we have schools in the Eastern Cape, in Limpopo, in Northern Cape, that still don't have water? In KZN, we have over 10 schools that have said to us, they have installed small Jojo tanks in our schools, but they never came to fill in water. The media never went to investigate because, I mean, you are busy, I understand, but as activists yourself, you just allow them to come and lie to you the way they want to. Ask them, what is so different about this one that you are going to deliver when you fail to deliver for the past 15 years? COVID-19 has never done anything much in our country in terms of education. The economy is. It has just exposed things that were always there. Just that we're not having a platform to expose and speak about these things. There's nothing new about this type. The minister's been there for 15 years. We cannot act like we don't know this. She's not going to deliver on anything. That is why we're saying that tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, teachers must take sick leave to show that they are protesting. And then if the minister fails to understand that teachers are scared of this virus, then the other week, we are going to go there physically and assist the department to lead, because right now we are on autopilot. How can the president say we're on level 3 and the minister says, no, we're not on level 3 in schools? You cannot, you don't have to social distance, it's fine.
Do you expect that you might get resistance from parents who want their kids to go to school?
And that is the issue. Here we're speaking about people who are on the ground. We're speaking about teachers, we're speaking about learners, but also we have organizations of parents that are working with in this decision that have said they understand that learners cannot go and be risked. The parents who want learners to go to the school are parents that are afraid of babysitting their own children. We have this problem in South Africa whereby parents, when they think that the learner is too naughty, they just say, even sometimes I think, when we were growing up, when the learner is naughty in the school, you threaten them to report them to the teacher in school because a teacher is seen as a babysitter or disciplinarian. We must change that phenomenon. We are here, Tabo, we are young, we are energetic, we are vibrant. We are not going to be threatened by non-existent things here. We are saying we are in this school. Setting down the school is very simple. In my school, if we were 30 teachers, we are just going to withdraw our labor. Will parents come now and fight us because we don't want to go into the classroom? They will not do so. Shutting the school can mean that the 30 teachers in one school meet another 30 teachers in another school, and we help them there to close the school. So these parents must understand that they are working with a different kind of youth now, the generation that is taking upon leadership upon themselves. They are saying to anyone that we are going to use science and consciousness to lead our generation to the next future. The people who are refusing now to listen to us are the people who won't be there in 2063. They will be gone according to science and nature. We are the ones that are going to be having to account. So we are refusing to listen to anyone that says we can die, it's fine, as they are working from home. This is a very new generation, Tabo, and they have something coming up if they were not aware.
Now tell me why you would like a blanket approach to closing schools, yet you don't support a blanket approach to the opening of schools. How about a risk-based approach where numbers flare up and those particular schools be closed down?
Well, that is what we are doing, but the concern is that we released the survey last week asking our members as to what should happen. And even teachers from schools that have PPEs or have not seen too much cases of COVID-19 have said that in themselves they have an anxiety, they have anxiety against this virus because they don't know how to approach it. They see learners coming in the morning, touching each other, not wearing masks, coming with these parents and some using school transport. So they are saying that over and above anything, they have never been trained by anyone on how to handle this virus. Remember, last time teachers get training is when they're in university. The nurses that the department spoke about last year only came to schools was to tell us that they don't know much about the virus, they're studying it and they'll come back to us. So unless maybe we get some teachers get training, then it can be something that we can consider. But right now, everyone is saying to us, we are afraid of the virus. We're not medical professionals, but at the same time, we're expected to act like we're medical professionals. In some schools, Tabo, that are well-resourced, learners are scanned inside the classroom, and a learner that has symptoms is only discovered inside the classroom. But at the same time, the principals will not allow for the learners to vacate the class so that it can be fumigated. So there are a lot of politics on the ground that are happening, and it is sponsored by the department because when they come to schools, they tell teachers that they will fire them if they refuse to listen and all of those threats. There is no relationship of employer and employee in basic education. It is just bullying all the way. As you can see on TV, teachers are saying we're afraid, the minister says go to school. That is just arrogant. That's not leadership. We are wishing for a leader that can come and take us upon. That is why we're saying to Panyaza, he must take this thing now, because if he's not going to take it, then we're going to completely give up on basic education leadership and we're going to run schools ourselves, because for the longest of times, teachers and principals and everyone in schools and parents are the ones that are running these schools. And Museka has never been to over 10 schools in the past week, and she can never tell us that she knows what's happening on the ground. We are the ones that are on the ground every day. We are seeing that. How can you say to a child that you know every day does not have food, must not be given food by a friend, even though you know that they are hungry? As a parent, how do you deal with that? So we are dealing with all the emotions on the ground when they are sleeping in their bedrooms and having virtual meetings, and we are refusing now to comply to that.
Spokesperson of the Educators Union of South Africa, Kabelo Matlobogwane, appreciate your time and thank you for joining us tonight.